Being Lisa, whenever you're ready.
Cool, so we did spectrum of sexual behaviors, including abstinence, and we had low exposure activities. Sure. Oh, yeah. I'll do games, I guess. Games.
I see.
So some of our games were, there could be a spectrum activity, because it literally said spectrum. Okay. So in this one, we would say that, students would stand on a point of a spectrum according to statements read out loud that were value-based statements, which is something that we pulled from Flash. Values about like, I believe, XYZ, but it would be character-based. So it would be like, Katie believes that being, I don't know, this is a bad example, but like that.
Or like sex before marriage is a positive thing, or like
for Katie or
yeah,
whatever.
And then you would stand
and then you would
on
do
the
that.
spectrum.
And then we would say we could also do that in terms of personal values of students, but that would be higher exposure. Another one that we had, an idea that we had was that didn't include movement, is having some sort of game board where there's a personal spectrum game board, and the spectrum would maybe say something like uncomfortable, unsure, comfortable, enthusiastic, in that order from least to most. And it would be the student would place a bunch of game pieces that have different spectrums, different activities, different behaviors on them, like kissing and having sex and like asking someone on a date, holding hands, and then you yourself, as yourself individually, would put on the spectrum how cool you are, how comfortable you are with those things right now in your relationship, or if you had a relationship, and leave off any ones that you would not consider doing right now.
Cool.
Yeah, that's like a higher level version of the boundaries checklist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. We liked the idea of moving stuff and changing stuff and leaving stuff off.
Cool.
And spectrum, like you can actually see it.
Exactly.
So for story, we have a group gesture / interviewing, character interview activity where we create gestures for, it would either probably for yes or no, or potentially for uncomfortable, unsure, comfortable, enthusiastic, the same spectrum we talked about before. And then in small groups, we have each character with one small group share the whole group.
First it's to the whole group.
Share a short setup for a scenario that in which they could behave sexually in in one way or another, kind of like setting up a decision they're having to make in their story, and then each section of the room will be assigned one of these characters in a small group, or self-select it the way we do in Can I Hit It? And then in these groups, the participants interview this character to get the information they need to know what decision this character should make. So what kind of questions this character should be asking about how they feel or what they're thinking they were going through, and then we share by doing those gestures that are generated at the beginning. So either it's by gesturing how comfortable this character is, or gesturing like, yes, I'm going to make the decision, no, I'm not going to make the decision. And then the reflection is like sharing what that small group conversation was, so people know like what questions led to that.
What was the process behind deciding whether this person was comfortable consenting to this activity or initiating such activity?
And then we also thought about a forum theater activity where it's more in the context of a scene, and you freeze the scene at the point that a character is facing a choice, similarly, and the audience during that freeze time would list positive and negative outcomes for the decision being made or not being made, and then the actors would play through a positive outcome and a negative outcome.
We also had this idea, and thinking about the girl on girl scene, which I think was useful, Abby, just this idea of like, okay, this scene happened in school, now what do you think would happen later, even? And using the forum theater technique of like zooming into a totally different place, like later at home, or whatever.
Like the negative outcome might have to do with like their family.
Yeah.
So maybe
or like
all of a
talking
sudden
about
there's
them,
a scene where like the other actors in the story are like going to jump into role as their family
That's
members.
great. Cool.
And that would be student choice.